I never thought the day would actually come when I would have to make this video. I feel almost unclean, dirty, and demeaning of myself to actually make a video to explain to some people why the earth is actually a sphere and not flat, based on their delusional psychosis which they cultivated from watching a NASA in-house comedy stand-up sketch about the earth being flat and being so fucking stupid, such beyond muppetry muppets, that they actually thought this comedy sketch was a real life NASA expert talking about the earth being flat, and a cult has built where various douchebags of the highest order have tried to build a cult around their personalities on this notion that the earth is flat. And some of the videos on YouTube are unbelievable. There's guys doing this like, look at the horizon, it's not flat. Ergo, I'm more smarter than all the scientists in history, including Galileo. No, you're not, you fucking lunatic. Now let me explain to you in like I said, I feel demeaning that I have to do this, but let me explain to you. I know some of you are so unbelievably psychotic, or you have invested so much of your name behind the flat earth thing that you'll immediately attack me. You won't present any counter evidence, you'll just so on to prove something about me rather than to prove that you're wrong. And here's why you're wrong. You see up here in the sky, you can see these aircraft trails, right? They're almost vertical overhead. But on the distance on the horizon towards the Atlantic, it looks like it's plummeting downwards, okay? And this one over here coming in looks like over the land, looks like it's coming upwards from the ground. There's one at a distance there, I don't know if you can see it, but it looks like it's coming up. The reason why that looks like it's coming up, going almost vertical and dropping down again, is not because that's a plane taking off or that's a plane crashing into the Atlantic Ocean. It's because they're flying on the exterior of a fucking sphere. Do you understand? You don't have basic observational skills because there's something profoundly wrong with you, that you see a proof video by a new truth guru who tells you that the earth is flat based on a stand-up comedy routine at NASA, and then you go out to investigate by pointing at the horizon and going, look, it's all flat. No way is the earth curved. And the one thing you don't check is the aircraft trails in the sky leading an arc. And you claim that you spend all your time spotting these things, but you don't actually check to see that that's what they're doing. They're moving along the outside of an arc. This is the west coast of Ireland, County Sligo, where I live, on a beach full of shells. That's where Sligo gets its name from. Sliagach in Irish means place of shells. It's a funny old world. I entered this scene. Hello, doggy. A friendly dog. I entered this scene back in 2000 and I think it was 10, when Puzzling People came out, and I met some lovely people, and I met some really nice folks, and they were all like really good people in their own kind of way. But there was an awful lot of nasty people too, a lot of vicious, and quite frankly, large numbers of psychotics. Now, I just find it interesting that they find out that the mainstream media is bullshit. So the instant reaction is to that everything in alternative media must be true. So that has them believing that the earth is flat and all this other kind of craziness. This is very unfortunate. So, as I said, I met a lot of very nice people, and I met a lot of very nasty people. But I'm done with the scene now, and the reason why I'm done with the scene is it's a couple of things. One was the flat earth nonsense was the final nail in the coffin. It just made it clear to me just how many dysfunctional and disturbed people are actually out there claiming to be searching for truth. They lack basic, as I showed in the other video, they lack basic perception skills. They spend all day looking at chemtrails thinking they're being bombed by New World Order bombers, and yet they can't use that same observational skills to clearly see that the Earth is a sphere, because as the aircraft move and approach from the horizon, they go up or down. They're traveling along the inside of a sphere. That was completely lost on them. And these people are the ones who think they're going to take on the globalists, the psychopaths in charge. Most of them can barely function in their own lives. So thank you to all the nice people out there. Thank you even to all the people who believed in crazy stuff that I would consider crazy stuff. And so we're still decent people in our hearts. I don't care what anyone believes, once it's not damaging insurgency. And the flat earth thing and the Jew bashing definitely damaged the insurgency, because it was, a lot of it I think was plants by the intelligence services, just like the cults, the flying saucer cults, the channeling aliens on a Ouija board, comet doomsday cults. They all go back to the intelligence services. They serve two functions. They allow the intelligence service to gather up database of names of people who are possibly challenging or questioning the status quo, and on the other hand too, they also they mock and make the whole movement look crazy. I mean, how can you have a debate anymore about, say, GMO in the food when the same people are saying the earth is flat? How can you have, some of the people that do that are saying the earth is flat. How can you talk about the money system when some of the people doing it are saying the earth is flat? Everyone gets tainted in the end. It's a catastrophe. And that's why I said these people need to be routed out of the alternative movement. So how do I fight? Now people say to me, how do you fight the psychopaths in charge? I'll tell you how. I come to places like this and I collect seashells and interesting stones. I look at the birds, I watch the waves, and you know what? I don't give a fuck about the psychopaths in charge, because I can only create awareness about them, but I can do nothing to overthrow them. All I can do, or all you can do, look how beautiful that mussel shell is, that blue. Look at that. All you can do, or all I can do, is, there's a limpet shell. You can actually eat these. What you do is you get the ones that are fresh, like this side. You pry them off a rock, and you put them while they're still alive. I know it's cruel, on a hot pan full of butter, and it instantly cooks them and kills them. And you pick them out with a fork. They're actually quite nice with garlic. And so you can't actually fight them. There's no chance. What you can do is live a good life. You can enjoy the beauty. I mean, this one single shell, or this one single stone, sits deeper in my heart and my soul than any behaviour by the globalists and the psychopaths in charge. That's it. Take pleasure in life and what's out there for all of us. Find magic. And as I always tell people, be your own saga. See all the challenges, and this actually applies to people who are fucking stupid enough to fall for the flat earth thing. Use it as a learning experience to never ever watch these videos online, because a lot of you, especially the ones I've seen you sharing on Facebook, you're all going to lose all your friends. You're going to be socially isolated. And will the flat earth gurus be there for you? Will they be there for you when you're in your moment of darkest hour, when you have no friends and no one around you because they all think you're a nut job because you think the earth is flat? You think about that one. They won't be anywhere near you. They'll be off somewhere else with their duper's delight smirk and dead eyes, and you'll be all alone in your world of truth. And that's what you'll get for standing by people like that. Just like any cult. So what's the future for the alternative media? Well, it'll always be here. I mean, the alternative conspiracy media. It'll always be here. It'll always exist in some form. Good stuff will come out every so often, and loads of shite will come out every so often. And your job is not to believe any of it, just to all take it in, including my work. I mean, if I found out tomorrow that my stuff on psychopaths was bullshit, I would just say, yeah, it's bullshit, I was wrong. That's the end of it. I wouldn't apologise. I'd just say that was I thought that was right, but it turns out it isn't. Of course, it's not going to happen. See, if anything, it's been validated more than ever. But, you know, I'll give you an example. how to behave. Like this is a thing. People have to learn how to be decent in this scene, and then you'll win respect, and then you'll have a better class of people coming in. Here's an example: if you have a belief in a conspiratorial idea, and someone challenges it, instead of instantly calling them a shill or a Zionist or a Jew or a psychopath, just say nothing. Just pull the brakes off and let it sink in there for a while. You do not have to put all your emotions into defending someone else's opinion that they put into your head, because what you're doing then is you're robbing yourself of your own potential. So switch off the YouTube and those videos, listen to some music, meet some nice people, come out to beautiful places like this, and realize that your some potential on this planet is much, much more than any of the concerns, neuroses, stupidity, or elation that a complete stranger on the internet can ever put into your head. I'm going to be appearing at the AV6 in England sometime in May, and that will be my very ever last speaking event. Other than art exhibitions and book openings, I'm not doing any more events like that, unless it's to deal with like a book I'm writing or something, and it's very specific. But I'm not going to do any kind of events like that anymore, because I don't want to be standing on a stage in 10 years' time spouting the same things I'm spouting 5 years ago. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to bore people. I don't want to bore myself, and I've really said nearly everything I'm ever going to say to people, and I'm not going to be a cuckoo clock or a performing seal. And I'd rather, instead of people hanging on to what I'm saying, just get out there and find your own truths. Because you know something? There's more truth in that seashell than you'll ever find in all the conspiratorial videos in the world. And when you understand what I mean by truth, then you got it.